Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today I would like to discuss about how we can read Kinesis streaming data in Glue, and after reading, write the streaming data into Apache Hudi table instead of normal Glue data catalog table. Write into Apache Hudi table, because when you write into Apache Hudi table, you have the advantage of asset properties, rollback, and all the Hudi functionalities which exist. You can use it directly on the streaming source table. So what are the three things we do here? One is create a streaming table in Glue catalog. Whenever you want to read a streaming table from the Glue, we have to create a streaming table as well. As we are reading from Kinesis, we have to read a Kinesis streaming table in Glue and read that table inside the Glue job. That means we are directly reading the Kinesis streaming data itself. But with the help of this table, we read it so that we can have the schema control and everything. And the last one is write into Apache Hudi table. And how do we write and register in Glue catalog? It's so simple. We have to use the Hudi properties. That's it, which I have already discussed before. These are the properties which help us to write into Glue catalog and register it into Glue catalog. That's it. So these are the three things we are going to see. So let's go ahead. So let's go to tables and let's create a table. Table 3, select the database you want. I have a default database, Kinesis DB. I'll select that, and I'll go with Kinesis here because my streaming source is Kinesis, not Kafka. And what is the stream name? I already have a stream called Kinesis. I'll show you that. If I go to Kinesis, how to create the stream, I have already created a video which you can watch, and how to push the data also I watch. See here, if you see under data streams, I already have a stream called stock trade stream, which you can create directly using create data stream. You can watch my previous video to know how to create a data stream. That's it. So I just selected that, and the data I'm getting is JSON format. That's it. Here we can create a schema for our source data which is coming from the Kinesis stream. You can directly create in the JSON file, or you can click on add and then select all the fields you want, or you can use a schema registry. In my previous example, I've used schema registry, but let me add it manually here. So instead of adding, I have used edit schema and I have added all these one by one. So that's it. If you want, you can add it, just the name, the type, and the comment if you want. Name, the type, name type, that's it. It's a simple JSON array. So I just go on next, and that's it. Create. So my Kinesis streaming table 3 is created. So instead of reading from the Kinesis streaming directly, we can read from this table in our Glue job. So we are done with the first point. So what is the second point? So read stream in the Glue. That's it. Now let's go to the Glue job. It's so pretty straightforward Glue job. Nothing else we are doing here. So this is a Glue job. I'll explain you. These are the simple basic things, and here this is a mandatory thing which we need to do. Cairo serializer, and these are the two parameters. In case if you want to create a Hudi table, you need to mandatorily write these two parameters. You can either pass here, or under job properties, advanced properties also you can pass this. Like I would prefer to pass in the job properties only, -conf, the serializer, and data lake format Hudi. These are the two things which we need to mandatorily give so that the Glue recognizes it as a Hudi table. That's it. So we have to give those additional parameters options. I'll explain. This is my starting point. I am reading a streaming table. My streaming is this one, Kinesis stream table 3, and these are some additional properties. So how do I want my streaming to start? I want it to start from earliest. Like in Kafka we have an option as earliest, latest, right? Similarly in Kinesis, starting position as stream origin means earliest. If you want, you can keep the latest. Only the latest records will be read, like that. In for schema true. So I read this is like streaming data frame, and for each batch I am calling a method here. For each batch in this data frame, call this method called process data, and inside process data I am doing nothing. I am just creating a data frame, and I am creating a path where to write my final data, and I am converting into a Spark data frame because the timestamp column which I am generating is of string type. Here it is of string type. That's why I'm again casting it into timestamp. I'll tell you the purpose of timestamp. and then I'm writing into Hudi table. So we aren't doing much. We are just reading a Kinesis stream table. That's it, and calling another method for each batch in this specific window. And in that method we are just converting one column into timestamp and we are writing into a table, and here we are creating a path. So the final path is nothing but the output path, which is what I have given here, plus a folder name, and inside the partitions, like I am trying to create a partition with the current date. That's it. And as it's a streaming table, it will have the checkpoint and offset and all those related information, right? So I'm just creating another folder called cp/, inside which it will store all the checkpoint information. That's it. Now we can go ahead and run this glue job. So I've clicked on run. My glue job should be running. As it's a streaming job, the only thing which we need to change is type as streaming, and the advanced parameters is these two. For any Hudi kind of Hudi table, whether it is streaming or non-streaming, you have to give these two parameters. That's it. But sorry, I forgot to explain these parameters. So here, what are we doing in this? These are the things which makes Hudi special, and this is how Hudi is writing the table and registering in glue catalog. Here the table name is this, and in Hudi we have two types of storage types. One is copy on write and merge on read. You can use anything as per the need. Here I want upset, because if the same record comes I want to update, and if the existing new record comes I want to insert. And what is the primary key? Record key is nothing but primary key in Hudi. Here I have ID column in my source. It's a sequential number I'm generating, so I want it as ID. If the same ID comes, I need to update. I'll show you that as well. And the next is timestamp. So in Hudi we have a concept of pre-combined field, which is nothing but if for suppose two rows are coming with the same primary key, Hudi has to decide which is the latest. So it uses the timestamp column. We need to have one timestamp field for sure in our source data if you want to write as a Hudi table. So this is a field which was coming as a string from the source. I'm just casting it into timestamp. So this field is used to decide that kind of scenarios, the pre-combined field. And what is the partition path? It wants hive style partitioning true, and you sync it. This is a parameter which is used to sync it with glue. I mean inside the glue data catalog, these things. Hive sync enable true, sync with hive true. I mean, which is nothing but it syncs with glue catalog. That's it. And what is the database name? What is the table name in the hive which it needs to create? And what is the partition column? They suggest used to use HMS as a sync mode, so I'm using that. And these two are the default parameters, and these are the indexing related information, which you can watch my Hudi theoretical video and you'll understand what is the global bloom index. There are multiple types of index, and one of the types of index is global bloom. In case if you have a scenario where the primary key comes in different partitions, then you have to enable this index global bloom. That's it. I'm just making it as true. That's it. But I don't need this because I am hard coding my partition here. My partition will always be country only, India only. If you see, while I'm generating the data, I just hard coded this, and my partition is India, so I'm hard coding this. So it's been writing since 3 minutes, so we should have the data created. If you go here, refresh here, yes, I have the partition created, and I have my partition created, and I have the Parquet files created because my target is Parquet. And now if I go and check for the table, my old table is there. Let's check for the new table whether it's created or not. Yes, it's created. And now let's preview the table. Perfect. So we got the data. That's it. Let's remove the limit, and that's it. We got the data. So what we do is, if we see the first two names starts with Arpil, Kartani, let's remember these names and let's try to update the data. So I will generate the data for only 5 records, first 5 records, and I'll save it and I'll run it now. See, and for my 0th ID, the name should be Gravy and Dr. Marcus, which is not the case here. It's a different name. So the data is streaming as it is, and the job is running as it is. So once the data comes to the Kinesis stream, we should see the updated data. So let's wait for a minute and I'll query. We should see the updated data for these 4 records, and here onwards it should be the same, Jokos, JNet and all. We should not see any difference here. So if you want to know about how Hudi works underneath, what is this .hudi metadata folder, and what is this .hudi folder, what does all this information means, what is this timestamp.commit, timestamp.inflight, timestamp.requested, all this kind of information, what does it store inside the metadata. If you want to know everything, you can watch my Hudi theoretical video. I have explained every concept about Hudi. That's it. Now we should have the data written as it's a streaming data. So let's go and query. See, these 4 values should change. See, if you see, the first values have been changed and the remaining values are as it is. They are not changed. That's it. So that's how it's updating the data as well and inserting the new records. This is how we update and insert the data as a Hudi table and register it in the Glue catalog. If we go to the catalog, we do have them. That's what displays in the Athena as well. But let's go check here. We should have 4. So we should have, this is the new table which got created. So instead of creating a normal table which doesn't support any ACID transactions or anything, we can directly create a Hudi table in the Glue so that we can query it, we can restore it. We have all the advantages of modern data lakes. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching.